Before we get started talking about Chelsea, I do want to have a disclaimer. I'm a firm believer in live your truth so nobody can use it against you. There's one particular neighborhood in New York City that completely changed the outlook of the west side of Manhattan. That neighborhood is Chelsea. Chelsea is home to world-class art, high-end dining, and luxurious real estate. And in this episode, we're gonna talk about Chelsea and just see why it's one of the most sought after neighborhoods in Manhattan. Let's go. My name is Chris Jordan. I'm a luxury real estate agent here in New York City, and this is my neighborhood guide of Chelsea. Before we get started talking about Chelsea, I do want to have a disclaimer. I'm a firm believer in live your truth so nobody can use it against you. I love Chelsea. This episode honestly might be biased because I'm sorry I can't be a contrarian. I love Chelsea. So I'm gonna try my best to be fair. That being said, let's talk about the geographic landscape of Chelsea. Chelsea runs from 14th Street to 34th Street between 7th Ave and the Hudson River, putting it on the west side of Manhattan. I think some of the things that make Chelsea so attractive is its attractions. The three attractions that everybody probably heard of, we'll start with the Chelsea Market. One thing I love about the Chelsea Market is I think it do a great job of representing New York City. The Chelsea Market is very diverse. It's a melting pot, just like New York City. So if you ever go inside the Chelsea Market, you'll find food from all different cultures. A unique thing about the Chelsea Market is that yes, it has permanent tenants, but it also rotates tenants out. So you get a unique, a fresh, a different perspective, different food at different times depending on where you go. Now, what comes with that, it is a tourist hotspot. No matter when you go, fall, winter, summer, spring, 8 a.m., 8 p.m., it is gonna be busy. And that's probably one of the reasons why I haven't enjoyed it as much as I would have liked. But I will say, if you do have the time, definitely experience the Chelsea Market. And another interesting thing about the Chelsea Market, maybe one of my favorites, is that it used to be the Nabisco factory in the 1900s, I believe around 1912, and it's actually where Oreos was invented. I love Oreos, so that's always a fun fact for me. Now, the second attraction in Chelsea that I want to bring your attention to is the High Line. I'm sure a lot of people heard of the High Line. It's 1.5 miles and it runs through Chelsea. Now the High Line was actually an abandoned railroad track that got transformed into this beautiful space that offers city views, park space, public art. So it's really a huge part of Chelsea's community. Then the last attraction I want to talk about is the Chelsea Piers. Now, while the Chelsea Piers do run past Chelsea, the main part of Chelsea Piers run from 17th Street to 23rd Street along the Hudson River. The Chelsea Piers is a recreational space, so if you're like me, right, and running is fine, like, you know, we get on the road, we run, but sometimes you want to diversify your workout. Sometimes running could get boring. There's only so many playlists you can play. So with Chelsea Piers, I like Chelsea Piers that it offers a wide range of workouts to get your workout in. So you can rock climb, they got golfing, they got basketball, they got Pilates, they got yoga, anything you could think of to get a workout in, the Chelsea Piers have it. So just to have that steps away from your community, from your neighborhood is huge. But they also have, running lanes, they have bike lanes. There's nothing recreational based that the Chelsea Piers don't have. It's right on the water, and it's not only a recreational place, in all honesty. What people don't know is also offers entertainment. Sometimes they have movie nights, things of that nature. So again, a very pivotal place in Chelsea's neighborhood. And I think it's one of those places that definitely is a huge, huge selling point for Chelsea. Now, another disclaimer. People usually say I underestimate walk-in times because I do have long legs and I do like to walk, and I will choose walking over any other transportation if I can. I say that to say, I believe Chelsea's very walkable, right? I don't think there's nowhere in New York City you can't, not New York City. Oh, see, look, I'm getting carried away. There's nowhere in Manhattan you can't get to from Chelsea unless you're going to like up one of the uppers, Upper East Side, Upper West Side. Other than that, Chelsea is very walkable. Now, if that's not your thing, there's also different train stations in Chelsea. So you can get the A, the C, the E, the 1, the 2, the 3. I believe the F and the L run through Chelsea. So you get anywhere in New York City from Chelsea. But I think if you just want to run quick errands and you don't want to hop on a train, it's very walkable. You can get to a lot of different destinations in not a lot of time. Now, I want to apologize to the little ones for my previous neighborhood guides. And the reason why I want to apologize to the little ones because I just totally neglected education. Yes, AI is a powerful tool, and yes, school is still important, especially grade school. So I apologize. In regards to Chelsea, Chelsea is a part of District 2, and District 2 is widely known as one of the most desirable school districts in New York City. So you have a lot of well-accredited public schools, while also having a lot of accredited private schools. So great educational system right here in Chelsea. Now, no, it can't be a Chris Jordan neighborhood guide without talking about real estate. And I was actually thinking, when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about in this video, I was actually thinking about Chelsea's real estate. And I want to give Chelsea real estate its flowers. And the reason I want to do that, because I feel like Chelsea, and I could be wrong, but I feel like Chelsea was one of the first neighborhoods to really diversify New York City. And what I mean by that, if you know anything about New York City's real estate, you can really, each neighborhood is known for its architecture. So what I mean by that is, this is changing, especially in 2025. But in the Upper East Side, they was known for pre-war co-ops, Upper East Side pre-war co-op. Then you got Soho Tribeca, they were known for its industrial lofts. Again, this is all changing, but this is what they were originally known for. This is the core, right? Then you got West Village, the townhouses. Right now we have FiDi, they're known for more of its new development, right? I think, while I said it's changing, I think Chelsea was the first to have all that. And I actually was speaking to somebody that said a lot of that changed when the High Line got transformed into the High Line. That's when a new development came, and that makes sense. And that's why you'll see a lot of the new development in Chelsea, in West Chelsea, right? So I think Chelsea was actually, in my opinion, one of the first neighborhoods. Now, you know, I'm a young man, so this is just from my opinion. Me looking from the outside looking in, was one of the first neighborhoods to really diversify its real estate. So I do want to give it its flowers for that. And I'm not surprised, because that's just Chelsea. Chelsea is about diversification and making something for every single demographic. With that being said, if you watch any of my previous neighborhood guides, one thing you'll know about me, I always talk 2025 outlook, because Manhattan real estate is very fluid, and things change. And even Chelsea is really hard to gauge, but I'll say this. If I had to do an average, and I always talk in square footage, I would say Chelsea's going, I don't want to give you too wide of a variation, so I'll say 1,900 to, let's say, 2,600. Now, I just seen a condo go for 3,600, but it had a lot of outdoor space. So per square foot. So in New York City, I always say, it depends. Now, yes, I could tell you what it depends on, because it always depend on things, but it all depends in New York City. So whatever you want, it just depends, and it can vary, but I say 19 to 26 is definitely a safe range for sure. Now on to the dining options in Chelsea. And I think as we always can kind of get a theme of episode, right? The theme of Chelsea is diversification, and that don't change with their dining options. Now, some of my favorites, you have Cook Shop, you have Portel, so you get high-end dining. You also have what the Chelsea Market offers. If you want to Los Tacos or one of their cultural vendors, you're always welcome to that. You got local favorites like diners, like the Empire Diner. Whatever your taste buds is looking for, Chelsea has it. All different cultures, all different types of food, diversification. Now in these episodes, I always try to be fair. I always try to be honest. When I was thinking, I said, Chris, you have to come up, not with a disadvantage or something not to like about Chelsea, but you have to come up with a con. When there's good, there's bad. And I was thinking, and I said, all right, the one thing I could say about Chelsea, almost like Soho, is that it's going to be a lot of foot traffic, right? But now that I'm thinking about it, Chelsea's not really like Soho in regards to the foot traffic, and I believe because Chelsea is just so well structured. And what I mean by that is the zoning laws are so much different than Soho. A lot of the commercial real estate in Chelsea are on the avenues, while the real estate is tucked off in the streets. So you can have a neighborhood feel on your street. See, I was trying to make this a con, and I'm actually making it a pro. Well, let me finish. You can have.
But they rented out their house.
You can have your apartment be or whatever in Chelsea. It could be tucked off on the street, while you have all the vibrancy of Chelsea steps away, but it don't feel like that in front of your apartment. Whereas in Soho, you can have a loft on top of a gallery. The residential and the commercial zoning are all together. So you're always going to get foot traffic. You're always going to get foot traffic near your apartment in Soho. It's going to be hard to escape it, in all honesty. But there's nothing wrong with that, because some people like that, especially if you just come into New York City. Like, you may leave New York City at a certain point and just come for the artistry and the vibrancy and the creativity. I know people that come to New York City to feel it, because that's what sparks their creativity. And that's okay. Sometimes I use New York City to spark my creativity, but Chelsea gives you that home away from home. So whenever you don't want foot traffic, you can always go back to your apartment that's tucked off on the street. They really did a great job of not mixing residential and commercial. And I apologize, because I thought I was going to make this a con, but as I was thinking, as my mind was going, I changed my mind on that. Chelsea's a special place. Special place. So, we spoke about Chelsea's dining. I'm missing something. Let's talk about its art, because Chelsea have world-class art. Chelsea is home to 300 plus art galleries, so you have the small independent spaces and you have the global heavyweights. So one thing I like about Chelsea art scene, I can only tell you about what I like about Chelsea art scene, is that you can just walk into a gallery and see a $10 million piece, no barriers, no museum, and I think that's unique. You can't really get that anywhere else. In addition, they do a great job of rotating the pieces out every 4 to 8 weeks. So it's always something fresh, always something new inside the galleries. So we spoke about the dining, we spoke about the real estate, we spoke about the attractions, we just got done speaking about the art, and I tried to find a con. Now, if you have something, you can comment it, but I tried to find a con and couldn't. So I think all in all, when I get from this episode, while just brainstorming and writing some things down, is that Chelsea's a special place. And that was my feeling on it before this episode. and that didn't change now. So what I want to say is, whether you want to move to Chelsea or you want to move to another neighborhood in Manhattan or New York City as a whole, I created a buyer's guide that's going to be in my bio. It gives you a very laid out, detailed, step-by-step process on what you would need to buy in New York City, all the hidden costs, everything. So I think if you are looking to buy now or in the future, that will probably be very helpful. And if I missed something or you have a specific question, I'm always available via email. I always put my email in the videos. So I want to thank you for joining me. My name is Chris Jordan. I'm a luxury real estate agent here in New York City, and this is my neighborhood guide on Chelsea. Be in the present, because yesterday is gone and tomorrow's not here yet. So today is all you got.